Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the first chapter of the book Snapshots of Class 11, and the chapter name is The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse, written by William Saroyan. So, the title itself is very much beautiful, which gives a very beautiful description of what the chapter could be and what are the instances which are related to a horse on the summer of the beautiful morning. Okay, so what happens? Let us see. But before proceeding to the chapter, let us discuss something about the writer. Now, let us discuss about the author a little. So William Saroyan was born on August 31st, 1908, and he died on May 18th, 1981. So in his life, he was an American novelist, playwright, and a short story writer. And he was very much famous, and he got his recognition more as a short story writer basically because he referred his stories basing upon the immigrant life of people who moved into California or into the city life. Clear? Then he was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for Drama in the year 1940. So what is Pulitzer Prize? First of all, you have to gain a clear idea about. So Pulitzer Prize is an award for achievements in newspapers, magazines, online journalisms, literature, and musical competitions or musical compositions which are held in the United States. And this Pulitzer Prize was established in the year 1917 by provisions made in the will of Joseph Pulitzer, who had made his fortune as a newspaper publisher. Okay, so based on his name and his achievements through his lifetime, this Pulitzer Prize is given to the people who are basically related to literature, journalism, and magazines and newspapers. So he has been awarded the Pulitzer Prize for drama in the year 1940. Then in 1943, he won the Academy Award, okay, Academy Award for Best Story for the film The Human Comedy. So what are the Academy Awards, which are popularly known as Oscars? Okay, so these are the awards for artistic and technical merit in the film industry. So here he also got an Oscar in the year 1943 for the best story in the film The Human Comedy. So this is some information regarding the author. Now let us proceed to the story. So first, let us discuss the theme of the story. So the theme is significance and necessity of honesty even in the face of greed and desire. So as I have told beforehand that this story revolves around two brothers, that is Murad and Aram. So what Murad does at first, that throughout the short story these two brothers are caught between the confusion of what they feel and what they know. So when Aram first sees that Murad is riding a white horse, he knows that Murad must have stolen it. Practically, when he sees that Murad is riding a white horse which they don't have, okay, so he first thinks, or that sense comes in his mind, that he has stolen it. As their family is very poor and they are belonging to a tribe which do not have that much money or means of living. Okay, but their tribe was considered or popular because of their honesty and their principles of what is right and what is wrong. Okay, so Aram, when sees Murad, practically to believe that he has stolen, he gives himself justifications that as we are belonging to this tribe, it is very much impossible that Murad has stolen the white horse. So again and again he is justifying his reasons of the white horse stolen with their honesty, which is the trademark of their tribe. Okay, so this is the theme that we will be dealing with. So now let us go to the story. So now let us discuss about the characters which are present in the story. So the first character is Murad. He is a 13-year-old cousin of the narrator Aram. He is a lively and a crazy person, always ready for adventures. Because in the story, when you will be proceeding, you will know that first of all, he has stolen a white beautiful horse from John Byro. and he is so much confident. He is not at all afraid of if in his family or if anyone else sees him with that horse, what will be the circumstances. So he is living a life that he thinks is to be more excited about, full, it should be full of adventures, and he does not care what others feel or others think about it. But he is also a loving brother to Aram, whom he offers the horse to ride for some time. Okay. Then Murad is the brother of Aram, and Aram is the narrator of the story. So he is a 9-year-old boy. He and Murad belong to Gargulanian tribe. And what is Gargulanian tribe? I have already said it is an Armenian tribe, and this Armenian tribe are belonging to Indo-European country. Okay, and Armenia is a language of the tribe. He justifies Murad's stealing of the horse for the purpose of horse riding, as they did not intend to sell it off. So Aram has seen Murad that he has stolen this beautiful white horse from John Byro. Then also he is trying to justify what he saw based on the principle of the tribe, that they are very much honest people, they cannot do anything wrong, and as they are very much dedicated to all the principle and the decisions of their tribe, or the morality in which they have got into from the very beginning of their life, he is not ready to believe that Murad has done anything wrong or any mistake. And till a condition comes that Murad is selling it off, then only he can make a decision whether Murad is right or Murad is wrong. So before he sells it, it is correct on Murad's part that he has taken a white horse from someone and he is riding it for fun. Okay. Then John Byro is a very simple character. He is a farmer and owner of this beautiful white horse, which was stolen by Murad. He is sad over the sudden disappearance of his horse few weeks ago. Okay. Then Uncle Khusro. So he is the narrator's uncle, who was considered to be a crazy man. He is a man of short temper and irritable nature. So here this character strikes as funny with his immediate dismissal of any problem. Okay. He has one line to say to everybody, that it is no harm, pay no attention to it. So Uncle Khusro is notorious for his bad temper, and he is highly impatient also, and he sets aside every problem and he runs away with the realistic situation which is in front of him. So he has a tendency of not even listening to any problem which happens in their family. Okay. So that is why he is considered to be short tempered and very much irritable nature he has. Okay. Then let us start with the story now. One day, back there in the good old days, when I was 9, and the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence, and life was still a delightful and a mysterious dream. So here you see from the beginning only, as he is a 9-year-old boy, he thinks everything around him is very much exciting, full of energy, everything is delightful, and he has many dreams to fulfill. Okay, so when he is thinking of how good life could be, there enters Murad. So my cousin Murad, who was considered crazy by everybody who knew him except me, came to my house at 4 in the morning. So as he was sleeping in the early morning 4, Murad arrived near the window of Aram. 4 in the morning, and woke me up tapping on the window of my room. Aram, he said. I jumped out of bed and looked out of the window. I could not believe what I saw. It wasn't morning yet, but it was summer, and with daybreak not many minutes round the corner of the world, it was light enough for me to know I was not dreaming. My cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. I stuck my head out of the window and rubbed my eyes. Yes, he said in Armenian, it is a horse, you are not dreaming. Make it quick if you want to ride. So this Aram is not able to believe what he is seeing outside his window. He is seeing first of all an early morning, which is not that much normal for Murad to appear all of a sudden, and he is not alone, but he is accompanied by a beautiful white horse. Okay, so he is not able to believe and he starts to rub his eyes whether to check he is dreaming or not. And this dream is real or not is clarified by Murad, and he says that it is a true fact that I have a white horse with me, and if you don't want to dream so much, then make it quick if you want a ride. And here Aram was very much excited to see, and he was not able to react to this situation. Okay. I knew my cousin Murad enjoyed being alive more than anybody else who had ever fallen into the world by mistake, but this was more than even I could believe. So he knows the character of Murad, how he behaves, that he is enjoying each and every sense or each and every aspect of his life, and he lives as if it is his last day, and he is full of adventures, and he does all the things which is full of excitement and which gives happiness to him, rather than bothering about what everybody else thought about him. So he this line is basically important. I have underlined it because this line shows the character of Murad, that he does not belong to this normal world. Somehow by chance he has fallen into this world. He enjoys utmost in his own way. He does not bother about any other circumstance. Clear? In the first place, my earliest memories had been the memories of horses, and my first longings had been longings to ride. This was the wonderful part. In the second place, we were poor. So now Aram is telling about himself. His first wish or his first longing for doing a thing is riding a horse, but they cannot afford it because their family condition was not that much stable. They were very much poor. Okay. So on the right hand side, I have given the explanations of the lines of the text. So have a brief analysis of it so that it will be easier for you to relate to the story. Okay. Then this was the part that would not permit me to believe what I saw. We were poor. We had no money. Our whole tribe was poverty stricken. So now it is not about his private family, but he is also talking about his whole tribe. Okay. So his whole tribe was poverty stricken. And why it was poverty stricken? Because as I said that Gargolian tribe was very much honest, and they were so keen to differentiate between what is right and what is wrong. So as they were in immigrant family which has come to this foreign land, they don't have much stable means of living. So whatever is available around them, they try to survive on that. Okay, so that is why from the very beginning this tribe is very much poor, as they are not a settled people on a foreign land. Okay, so he is telling every branch of Garglonian family was living in the most amazing and comical poverty in the world. Nobody could understand where we ever got money enough to keep us with food in our bellies, not even the old men of the family. Most important of all, though we were famous for our honesty, we had been famous for something like 11 centuries, even when we had been the wealthiest family in what we liked to think was the world. We were proud first, honest next, and after that we believed in right and wrong. So none of us would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. So here what is happening? He is describing what his tribe is all about, what are the principles of his tribe, and how they got money, how they survived in this critical condition. He also does not know. So we can find out, or we can come to a conclusion that as he is 9 years old, he has no idea, or he has not seen the situation, or his age is not that much enough to understand the family situations or from where they got money to survive. Okay. So here the Gargolian family was poor as they had no money. The whole tribe was poverty stricken, and they were famous for their honesty. These are the points which you can get in question, like what are the principles or what are the points which justify what a Gargolian tribe is. So in that question you have to answer these all things, that they were famous for honesty, and from a long time they had built a reputation for being proud and honest. They would never even take advantage of anyone. So when he saw Murad having a beautiful white horse which they cannot afford. He understood that they cannot afford a horse, so he has stolen from someone. But he is so much tied to the principles of his tribe that he is justifying Murad's act of stealing as he has not done anything wrong. Okay. Then, consequently, even though I could see the horse so magnificent, even though I could smell it so lovely, even though I could hear it breathing so exciting, I could not believe the horse had anything to do with my cousin Murad, or with me, or with any of the members of our family, asleep or awake, because I know my cousin Murad could not have bought the horse, and if he could not have bought it, he must have stolen it, and I refuse to believe he had stolen it. So understood the dilemma of Aram over here. He's seeing, he's realizing that all the true facts or the practical scenario in front of him, but he is not ready to believe. He's justifying, or he is depressing all these thoughts inside his heart, and he does not want to accept it anymore. Okay, so though he is seeing the horse which is very much attractive, it is so much lovely to smell, he is getting excited when he sees how the white horse is walking or the movements of the horse outside the window. He is trying to concentrate on the good things about the horse, but at the back of the mind of Aram, all these negative things are happening which he is trying to justify. Okay. No member of the Gargilanian family could be a thief. I stared first at my cousin and then at the horse. There was a pious stillness and humor in each of them, which on the one hand delighted me and on the other hand frightened me. So, though he had a longing from a very long time regarding having a horse in their family, which they could not afford, and when he sees that thing in front of him, he is very much excited. He has already planned what he will do with the horse, and Murad will teach him how to ride the horse and everything. But at the back of the mind, he is frightened also that how is this thing possible in reality, and if our family got to know this thing, what will be the circumstance, what will be the consequence, and how he would deal with this situation. So at one part he is delighted, and on the end part he is frightened also about the situation which is about to come in their life. Okay, then let me put on some clothes, I said. So now he is trying to distract himself, as Murad said that if you want to have a ride, come soon. So let me put some clothes. I said, all right, he said, but hurry. I leaped into my clothes. I jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped up onto the horse behind my cousin Murad. That year, we lived at the edge of the town on Walnut Avenue. Behind our house was the country, vineyards, orchards, irrigation, ditches, and country roads. In less than 3 minutes, we were on Olive Avenue, and then the horse began to trot. The air was new and lovely to breathe. The feel of the horse of running was very much beautiful. So, here what is happening, you see? He is very much enjoying the fact that everything is so peaceful, so calming, and he is very much excited to jump on a horse and have a ride for the first time. And he is not that much experienced in riding the horse, so he sat at the back of Murad and they started riding. So the horse, who was silently standing there, he started to trot, or he started to pace faster. So they lived at the edge of the town, that is on the Walnut Avenue. So on the right hand side you see the Walnut Avenue is present on the boundary of the town, that is in USA, and they had a vast country full of orchards, vineyards, and irrigation ditches. So what is a ditch? It is a narrow channel dug at the side of the field to hold or carry out the water nearby. Okay, so these ditches were there, irrigational field were there, orchards were there, vineyards were there, and it was a perfect place for riding a horse. Okay, so as he was excited, and as the horse also paced faster, so in no time, within 3 minutes, they jumped from Walnut Avenue to Olive Avenue. So avenue, you know that it is a broad road in a town or city, typically having trees at regular intervals along its side. So as the horse ride was very much faster, they captured or they completed a long distance within a short period of time, and it was very much exciting, and it was very much easing at the part of Murad. But here, as Aram had no experience in it, he had also a thrilled but frightened experience sitting at the back of Murad. Okay, the feel of the horse running was wonderful, which Aram felt at that moment of time. So let us stop here, and this is the end of part 1. In the next class we will be discussing the part 2 or the rest of the story. Okay, so for now,